Get out. I do not like the look of you. Those are perhaps the world's cruelest words a mother could ever say to her own son. No argument. No reason. Not even a single warning.
My mom kicked me out of my house, to tell the truth.
Just because she did not like the way he looked. A 13-year-old Jimmy Butler was thrown away by his own mother, kicked out to the curb like garbage. And how did this boy with no place to call home become the undisputed tough guy of the league today? Back in 1989, Jimmy was born in Tomball on the outskirts of Houston. To him, fatherhood was a concept that never existed because his father vanished, without a trace while he was still an infant. And the bond of a mother, which should be an unbreakable fortress, collapsed entirely when he turned 13. Just imagine what we were doing at 13 years old, maybe worrying about a test at school, or asking our parents for a new pair of sneakers. But Butler could only carry a few old clothes, wandering the streets of Tomball alone. He slept on park benches, curled up on the couches of different friends, always walking on eggshells, terrified that one extra bite of food would get him kicked out. Perhaps it was these moments that left a scar deep within his soul that may never heal, but they also forged an almost obsessive instinct for survival. If you are not tough, you won't make it. For a kid drifting like Butler, basketball was not a dream. Was a sanctuary from reality. Even though he was only 5'3" in middle school, he had a win-at-all-costs attitude. As his height and skills grew, he made a name for himself on the local courts. In his senior year, the turning point arrived. A boy named Jordan Leslie challenged him to a three-point contest. And just like that, Butler won his first real friendship. Leslie, Mother Michelle Lambert, became the angel in his story. Even though she already had 7 kids at home and the financial burden was heavy, she finally took in this quiet, guarded homeless teenager. Michelle gave him a home, but she demanded he follow the rules and do chores. No staying out late, and most importantly, he had to get into college.
That's them. That's family. That's what that is. That's your blood. Well, I feel like family is who you love.
Because he was always focused on survival. Jimmy never imagined basketball would be his future. He played simply for the joy of it, never even participating in high school tournaments. Until his senior year of high school, Jimmy's drive and leadership led him to become the team captain, averaging 20 points per game. But to college scouts, he was still a nobody. By graduation, he was ranked 73rd in the state of Texas and was not even on the national radar. No major NCAA programs reached out to him. Only Tyler Junior College offered him a spot, which is a step below the elite university level. In his debut for Tyler, he exploded for 34 points, dropping multiple 30 and 40-point games that season, averaging 18 points, 8 boards, and 3 assists. He became the leading scorer on the team. His stellar play finally caught the eyes of major scouts. Butler ultimately chose Marquette University, not just for their basketball program, but for their academic reputation. He wanted a real degree to secure a stable job for his future. There, he met a coach just as obsessed as he was, Buzz Williams. The first thing Buzz ever told him was, "Jimmy, you suck." In his eyes, Butler had potential, but was too used to people telling him no. To mold Butler, Buzz pushed him through grueling training sessions, 5:30 a.m., physical conditioning, endless suicide sprints. Even when Butler lost a shoe mid-run, he was not allowed to stop. This kind of intense coaching would have broken almost anyone else quickly, but for a kid who had survived the streets, this was paradise because there was food on the table, a game to play, and someone who actually cared about his growth. By his senior year, Butler numbers jumped from 5 points to 15 and 6 boards. Though the stats seemed modest, they could not measure his true value on the court. He played like a relentless pit bull, leading Marquette to the NCAA Sweet 16. When the 2011 NBA draft arrived, Jimmy hustle and character impressed every general manager in the room. Almost all of them admitted he was one of the finest young men they had ever met. But despite his intangible qualities, Butler was still a diamond in the rough. He lacked a consistent outside shot, and his ball handling was average. He slipped toward the end of the first round, selected 30th overall by the Chicago Bulls.
Instantly burst out into tears with my mom because all the people that tell me that I wouldn't amount to anything, that I wouldn't get my degree, I wouldn't go to college, I couldn't be an NBA player. But more than anything, it was I proved myself right. I could care less about proving them wrong.
Never mind what the critics say. Just be who you want to be. The success of Jimmy Butler was never an accident. It was the inevitable result of his conviction. A man abandoned by fate who fought to become his own light.